Hey everyone, welcome to our very first episode of Fyre Bar, off-topic podcast. I'm your bartender today, Brian. This is going to be a little bit different than most of our shows or our podcasts. There is no topic for this, so it's completely off-topic. So if you guys are listening to us live home at Twitch, or if you guys are in your car listening to us from iTunes or Spotify, we welcome you guys. So tonight I'm actually here with a bunch of my best friends and some of my coworkers. Mikey, Octar, and Mo. How are you three doing tonight?
Good. Which one am I? Best friend or coworker?
Oh, that's for you to decide.
Right. Wow. I was okay before this inner turmoil started between our group here.
I can drink to that.
Yeah.
It's a bar.
It's a bar. Welcome to Fyre Bar. Woo,
I spilled on my pants.
It's a guy spit up. I hope that didn't come up on camera.
That's fine. This is why the audio listeners get a better experience here, because they don't have to look at us be idiots.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if you're listening to us, you don't have to see our my disgusting ugly face. But
Shut up, you're beautiful.
Stop. You're always
this guy the whole time is like, ooh, I'm so ugly. Whatever. You're hot as hell.
Dude,
you are pretty beautiful.
Dude, I got so worried today where, like, I went in and started doing my hair, put my contacts in, like, I have to look good!
But Brian, that's you all the time, though. You're, like, the most metrosexual friend I have, where you're just, like, anytime we're going to go anywhere, like, we could be hanging out, it's like, we should stop by Walmart to get something. It's like, hold on, let me do my hair! We're going to Walmart! Brian, like, you are a Walmart 10, my dude. Like, you don't have to worry.
Oh, Walmart 10.
Listen, some of us have to work hard to look good, okay? Some of us just can't look gorgeous coming out right away, okay,
I look
Mike?
like a hobo. I told you. I've got mad hobo energy. And I'm fine with it.
I want to say that I am very jealous of, like, yours and Octar's beard, because, like, Octar's beard is always looking, like, on point. And, Mikey, I just love, like, your fullness of your beard. I wish I can do that.
I wish I had a beard.
My beard looks so bad when I have it, like, unkempt. Like, I have to, like, actually always every day look at it and be like, ugh, you look so bad with this, like, unkempt beard. You gotta take a razor to the face, bro. Well, hold on.
Gotta take a razor to the face. But dude, you're really good at, like, trimming your beard. Like, you always have it really level and even. It's just I can't do that at all. Like, I put on a fucking, like, clipper for my beard. I'm like, it'll probably be the same length, and then it never is.
Dude, that literally has taken me so long to figure out how to do. And, like, at one point I'm like, I just need to look at the straight razor like it's a pen and just kind of just erase as I go or something. I don't know.
Oh, dude, you use a straight razor as well?
Yeah, I saw you after you used a straight razor, Brian. Freddie Cooper.
Dude, it was my first attempt. And so I was like, okay, I don't know how to properly. Let's start with the neck. I immediately just slit part of my throat right away. Like,
Let me just.
This is my first time.
That was the thing. When you were here, I should have probably maybe, I don't know, like, teach you how to do it, because you don't know how to do it. And
dude,
I had to go through a lot of scars myself to be able to figure out, like, how to do it well.
Yeah. Well, like, I've always wanted to, like, use one. And, like, I think actually you were the one, I think, that kind of, like kind of talked me into one of them, because I think you told me, like, a while ago, that's what I use. I can never go back to a normal razor. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta get one. And then I joined that little beards club for, like, the hopefully grow a beard. Yeah, I was one of those people.
The beard club? Like Dollar Shave Club? Or...
Yeah, well, no, it's a beard club. I don't have any of it with me, but you get, like, these little pills and stuff where you, like, take them and they're supposed to help with, like, you know, the growth and shit like that. Because, I mean, if you do look, there is little you can't see, but there's little black hairs.
I see some peach fuzz, yeah.
I got a little black hairs, but they're not full. And so, like, I canceled it, and I had, like, a lot of points, and I saw I had enough to basically get a free straight razor. So, fuck it.
I thought you were about to be like, dude, I had all these points. So I was like, maybe I can get a free beard from these guys.
Just a tape-on beard.
Yeah, they just send you just a full-on beard. Like, here we go. Oh. Now I'm a man.
I want to be.
Dude, I got little, like, stubbles here. Like, that's it. I feel you, Brian.
I mean,
we're gonna
but
get there.
that's just like a genetics thing, though. I think. I mean, I don't know if there's a whole lot you can do to really help that, because it's the same thing. Like I have a lot of friends like that who can grow mustaches just fine. They can grow like chin beards just fine, but on the cheeks, it's just like barren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because like if you look at like my family, like my dad, my brother, my grandfather, and everyone, like even on my dad's side, everyone has beards, and then you have me, the little.
Well, you
I
can always, if you want, and this is for people who are balding, but it also helps grow your facial hair. You can always use a finasteride. The problem is it shrinks your balls. So
Oh,
there's that.
okay.
wait, what is that? I've never heard of that thing. What is that?
Finasteride? You've never heard of it? It's I think it's like a supplement that you take, kind of like yours, except it it actually works.
But it shrinks your balls.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, I already got small balls, so I mean,
I
won't be
think you
doing
have
much.
balls to spare, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not even.
what's that?
Not even. I got tiny balls, little balls.
Brian, you're walking around with like 2 friggin' medicine balls, like in a pillow sack. That's what you got going on. You could actually probably use that supplement, because not only would you get a better beard, but then it would like shrink your balls down to like a healthy, normal size. My man got like testicular elephantitis.
Elephantitis.
Jesus.
Is that a real thing?
Just every time you know Brian's coming because he's walking down the hall and you just hear just the slap of his fucking balls.
Slap it between my thighs.
It's like a metronome. You could keep time to it. In fact, Akra, that's probably how you'll get better at the clap sync. We'll just do it to Brian's balls going back and forth.
Oh my god.
Welcome to Brian.
Dude, could you imagine like actually like having elephantitis in the penis and the balls?
In the penis and the balls. I mean,
You have an elephant come for a tank and then freaking what? Elephant feet for balls?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was something I was watching. I remember what it was. It was like I think 7 most common myths about sex, and one of them was that like girls actually don't like large penises because it hurts.
well,
But
sure,
it's more like a masculine thing.
it's definitely a masculine thing. Guys like to have big wieners. It makes us feel good. But I mean, for, everyone's different. But I think for most women, the vaginal cavity only goes back 6 inches. So it's one of those things where like length isn't as important as girth, from what I've heard. So good news to all those guys out there with little chodes, right? Because at least you got that girth.
That is wide.
No.
See, you want the wide, not the length.
Good old like a tuna can is what you want. That is the ideal penis. It's the shape of a tuna can.
Like a tuba.
Wait, did he say tuba?
Yeah.
Like a tuba? Damn, boy, your dick look like a tuba. It flares out at the end.
The pee hole is just a massive straight down.
Every time you pee, it's just like a fucking waterfall. That's horrible. I hate that. Why'd you put that into my mind?
Hey, you can thank Octar for that one. Oh my. That being said, though, I feel like the penis is not like a pretty thing. I think I don't know.
Speak for yourself. My penis is gorgeous.
Okay, well, probably just mine then. Mine is disgusting looking.
I mean, if you would let us come and check it out, like we could like all agree or disagree with that. So
No, he brings up a good point. We should really be the judge of that.
yeah,
Just saying.
why don't you just stand up real quick?
No, come on, it's small.
Just quick peek.
Stop.
Quick peek.
No, it's itty bitty, teeny weeny, tiny whiny little peeny.
Bart, stand up.
No.
That she wore for the first time today.
Yeah. She took one look at it and said, "Oh, that's it." We're like, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, that's it."
Y'all ever about to have sexy times with a girl and then she goes like, "Oh, that's cute," and then you're just like, "I'm going home. I'm going home. Never mind. I don't need this.
You have to like respond with, "Hey, I'm a man."
I am a man."
You have like a razor for no reason in your hand. Like, why? Why are you bringing that to the bed? What are you about to do?
You won't find out. I would just go to sleep at that point. I wouldn't go home. I would just sleep in the bed.
Just sleep there with her. But like, listen, not tonight. We're just gonna cuddle. We're just cuddling.
No, none of that. I'm asleep. You can sleep.
Yeah, just like backs turned to each other, just sleeping.
Yeah.
Just, no. After that insult.
I might even like fart. Like you just piss me off.
No, you're definitely gonna fart. Yeah.
Hold on, let me.
Dutch oven her for the insult that she has given you.
Dude, like whenever like I'm like in bed like with like another person or whatever, I have to sleep opposite of them. And that, like I know a lot of people are like, oh, I like to sleep on my right or my left. It's like I sleep wherever the opposite of facing me away from whoever I'm with.
Oh,
Like it doesn't matter. Like if I'm in bed with like when we were on that one trip to go see other Mike and I had to sleep in bed with Oktar, I had to sleep opposite of. Like I have, no matter what, I have to sleep opposite of that person, like whoever it is.
But then I made sure to sleep the same direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
wait, but Brian, that's just not true though, because I can recall a specific moment where you and we had a sleepover and we were sleeping on the like pull out like bed that was in like your parents' office.
Oh,
and like that night, I got no sleep that night, Brian, because you were like, I was facing away from you and you were facing towards me and you were like rubbing my back with your finger and stuff. And I was just like eyes like fucking wide open. Like, what is he doing? Like, what is happening? Make him stop.
But he's like, this is it.
It was horrifying.
But the funny thing was, like Mikey said, like I was being super sweet, super nice and gentle. But I remember specifically that dream. It was a very violent dream I had. Like I was literally beating the shit out of someone. But Mikey himself was like, dude, you were actually, it was kind of nice. It was a little sweet, but weird.
You were caressing me, and I was like, okay, I did not consent, but it's kind of sweet.
Not okay.
I just love the idea. I'm just sweet and nice on the outside, but in the dream, I'm just murdering someone.
By the way, I do have to say that, Brian, when you said that you sleep opposite of the other person, I thought you literally meant like, yeah, when I sleep with another person, I have to sleep on the opposite side of the bed. And it's like, yeah, of course. How else would you do it? You sleep on top of them?
Yeah.
No, that's Oktar. That night I got no sleep, and oh my god, okay. So we were. I know you did. It made me so mad.
I think I woke up. I never woke up more refreshed in my entire life.
Well, it was funny.
I only slept for like 5 hours.
Well, it was funny because like that night, you and me were watching some documentary. Now we were watching the presidential one because I had it like loud, so we can like watch it together, and we were listening to it. And then I remember like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to get some sleep. But Oktar passed out, like he was already asleep, and the man was going in on those snores, and I'm like, oh no,
Listen, Brian,
no.
You snore very loud as well, mind you.
Oh, I know I do. I'm not gonna deny that.
Mo, that's a machine gun that you got, bro. I don't know.
What you mean?
Mo's a snorer. Like that, I think that man is the worst out of everyone.
I don't want to hear.
Yeah, that trachea, it's a piece, bro. It's not just a trachea, it's a piece.
A piece of what?
Bro, we're gonna have to record some snores and like just check the audio files on those.
Which one is the most?
You set my like. All right, I'm ready. I'm gonna do it tonight.
But so Oktar eventually passed out. He was snoring a lot, and I'm like, oh shit, this is loud. I'm gonna try to get some sleep. So like I kept trying to like roll over onto the other side of the bed and try to close my eyes. And every time, I swear to God, I just felt Oktar shuffle on the bed closer to me, and the man kept getting closer. And one point, he put his arm over me. I had to, like fling his arm off, and then like eventually, like I laid on my back, and as soon as I did, it was game over. Oktar snuggled on me, put his arm over me, and then right in my ear just.
It was winter at the time too. It was winter time, bro.
Bro, we had a whole comforter.
Dude, he was making the moves on you. He was just trying to snuggle, and you were having none of it.
No, I was not.
Yeah, that's a little disrespectful. Not gonna lie.
For real.
Well, it was funny. Like like after 5 hours, we woke up and everything. The doctor just gets up all peaceful, like, oh, dude, actually, that was really good. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad you had a great time. He's like, what? You didn't get good sleep? I'm like, no, you kept snuggling me.
Bro, the night after was even worse because I started talking about some scary shit because that was when Brian
Yeah.
ghost in Mike's house. So I'm like, I'm gonna roll with this.
Yeah.
All night I was like talking about different scary scenarios that Brian. I'm like, hey Brian, what if you just saw like a shadow just standing right outside the window, just staring? Like,
well, like the thing that like got to me was the fact like when you were like you made me feel so bad too when you're like, oh yeah, dude, you didn't know that like so and so passed away, and I'm like, what the fuck? No, dude, you're fucking me. What are you talking about? And then so like you kept going on and on. I'm like, no, dude, you're wrong. I'm gonna ask Mikey. Mikey is not gonna steer me wrong. So Mikey is on the stairs with other Mike, and I'm like, okay, I just need to know, Mikey, did so and so pass away here? And Mikey's like, yeah, dude, that's a really sensitive topic. I'm like,
without skipping a beat, anytime I get a chance to like fuck with somebody, like I'm already on board. I'm just like, yeah, no, dude, I didn't. How did you not know?
The best part was me and Mikey didn't even talk to each other about it.
No, I was just immediately like, yep, I got it.
Well, see, like what made it worse was that like the air vent was right next to that basement door, and it would like kind of rattle like someone was opening the door, and I'm sitting like, oh shit, oh my god, Arthur said that it happened in the basement. The door is rattling. He's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
It's over for you, buddy.
It's
you were freaking out, dude, because you would be like, dude, I saw the door open by itself. And we're just like, okay, yeah, maybe it did. It probably did, Brian. Why are you?
No, it did. I'm not kidding. Like, it actually did open up, but I swear it was probably the air vent just pushing it open. But Jesus Christ! And then in the morning, I asked, I remember my goodbye. He's like, yeah, dude. Like he even went along with it. And I'm like, oh my god! I couldn't believe it. And then a few hours later, he's just like, nah, dude, we're all just fucking with you. And I'm like, god damn it!
But you gotta admit though. You gotta admit, it's a beautiful thing when the homies get together to fuck with another homie. Just like this is the perfect opportunity. We have to do it.
I was so irritated.
I remember how Mike said it too, because you were like, "Yo, so Mike, did this actually happen?" And even Mike looked at you and he's like, "Yeah, totally. Can we not talk about it anymore because this is kind of like I'm not comfortable talking about it." And
yeah.
Mike didn't even hear Mikey say that exact stuff.
Oh god, it drove me up a wall. I felt so bad. Like I literally felt like shit. I was like, I have offended him. This is the first time I hear it, and I have offended him.
The house is haunted. The host is offended by
I'm like, I should just go home at this point.
I mean, it would feel bad to be in that position where it's just like, man, I've offended my host, but by the same token, I think I have offended the spirit in the house. Because it is messing with me.
Yeah, I was like, I'm 8 hours away, but fuck, man, I guess I gotta call an Uber. Oh my god,
Have you guys ever like been in a situation where you felt like you were like either in like an actual haunted place or had some kind of weird thing happen to you where like that's a ghost, it's gotta be?
Yeah.
Yeah, do tell.
My house, what you mean? Like, it honestly, actually, like a couple of nights ago. So, all right. So when our heat kicks on, for some odd reason, there's like some rattling downstairs. Like, I can't make the sound. I was trying to make the sound, but it's, yeah. So when it turns off, it sounds like someone's opening the front door for some reason. So I sit up on the edge of my bed. I'm like, yo, who's that? And then there's nothing. And of course, it's nighttime. My dad's at work. It's pitch dark at like 5 o'clock. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess this is where I'm going to die. So now I just freeze to death and I use my little space heater to try to stay as warm as possible. I don't ever turn the heat on again.
No more heat. Doesn't matter if it's the dead of winter.
I was like, we freeze here.
But I feel like there's another time I can't remember though. Yeah,
I'll say for me, it was my old house. So we had this like kind of like back pantry area. And when my folks first bought the house, the previous owner told us that her husband used to have that as like an office, like a back office, and that he passed away back there and all that stuff. So like that's always been on my mind, my brother's, my family's. But every time you would go back there, like in the morning, my mom would always like, she always had kept like the we call it like the containers, like the little, you know, plastic containers we store the food in, like very neat. But every time in the morning, the shit was like disheveled and messed up, and she always thought it was us trying to like find things or get containers for things. It's like, no, we didn't touch it. But like strangely, every time you go back there, only that room was cold, like very cold for some reason. Like I always had like a weird like temperature change. And like I get it, I know we had like the freezer back there and the other fridge, but it was always cold. You would think it would be warmer with those machines, and plus the heat vent and how small that room is, you would think it would contain heat, but no, that area was always cold. It was just,
What,
I
was
don't know.
that? See, I know the area you're talking about. Was that like an addition onto the house at any point?
From what the owner says, that was original. Like that was his old office. Maybe they added it on, but
The only thing I always wonder with that stuff is like, for example, our in this house, the TV room, it's kind of like attached to the garage, and it's kind of like separate from the rest of the house. And that room's always really cold for a few reasons, but one of it being that it's just kind of on like a slab of concrete. Like the basement doesn't extend under that room. So a lot of times that's a big part of it, where you've just got like, especially in the winter, because of like geothermal reasons, the ground is frozen and cold, and it transfers to the slab, and then that room itself, the temperature is just like at least 5 degrees colder.
yeah, that very well could be. But I swear, like I always felt like it always felt like someone was back there all the time. Like whenever I would go there and like get something out of the freezer, I would like kind of have to like hurry a little bit because I'm like, I just feel like something is there. But all the time.
Got to scare you off.
I did. And then like it was weird because like I always had that
Oh my
feeling
God.
like, did you guys ever get the feeling like when you were like kids, like you felt like something was following you, so you kind of had to like hurry from wherever you were, kind of up the stairs really quick into your room, shut the door quickly, like because you felt like something was like following you?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Feeling? What do you mean?
well, that's the thing. Like, I only got that feeling. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, maybe if I'm coming home from like, you know, hang out with Mike or Octar or whatever, I would come home. I'll be perfectly fine. But it's whenever I went back to that little back room, I always had that feeling. It was just weird, and I don't know how to describe it.
That now makes a lot more sense, because every time you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get something to drink. Come down with me." You would
Yeah.
be like, no, come downstairs with me.
Dude, I was worried. Tell you.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, there is another occurrence, and I'm pretty sure this might be real. All right, so I work at like a freaking nursing home / rehab center, and there's like a really creepy basement, and people have died in this building a decent amount. So I work the night shift sometimes, and sometimes when I'm walking through this basement, like it's just very eerie because it's super quiet. Like sometimes the lights will be flickering on and off, and I'm like, oh, it's just an old building. I'm like, I'll just put a new light bulb up there or something. You know, we replaced all the lights, everything is fine, and it still happens. And I swear to God, there's like a door all the way at the end of the hallway. I swear to God, every time I'm in that hallway, it's like the door is cracked. But we always make sure that door is closed. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go down there and check. I'm gonna go down there and check it out. I go down and check it out. I close the door. I come back down the hallway. I'll go upstairs, do some stuff, come back down, and I swear the door is like cracked open again. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just never going down there again. So it's so I'm gonna take pictures one day. I'm gonna put them online, and I'm gonna go in there with a ghost crew, and we're gonna catch like deceased old people, because so many people have died in this building. I'm sure somebody's haunted in this building. There has to be.
Oh, probably. I mean, yeah. I feel like there has to be ghosts in like hospitals and stuff like that. Like, I feel like there's maybe spirits don't like pass on from the hospitals.
Well, here's a bigger question, I guess. Do you guys actually believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe in ghosts, but I don't want a reason to believe in ghosts.
Well, wait, Akhtar, like I brought this up too because I know that you told me a story one time, and I think it happened in high school, but like about you going to like an abandoned barn or something.
Yeah, that was a prank.
That was a prank?
I found out like 10 years later that was a prank that was pulled specifically on me.
Oh,
by like high school kids. Yep.
Mm.
It was at like the haunted barn, or quote unquote haunted barn.
Is it like it's like the first I heard of it, but apparently it's like, oh, you know, the haunted barn. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We have a haunted barn.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be right in front of where Algonquin Commons is now.
Okay.
So it used to be there. It's obviously been taken down a while back. But yeah, I found out that like the group that I went with had already like planned it on me specifically. And yeah, so it was like 7 people who were in on it. It was basically what happened with Brian.
Oh, sure.
Except it was like 7 people, and then one of the girls in our group was not able to show up. And I just did air quotes. And we go there, and we're just like chilling and stuff. And we kind of like explore, but we don't go to the second floor of the barn. We don't go to the second floor specifically. And we walked out. We threw the door down. We put the door down because there was like a broken door in the front of the entrance. So you actually had to like physically move it. And we walked back. We were just like, you know what? Yeah, let's go back and check it again. And we didn't put the door back up, but the door was back up by itself. And that happened several times. Then from there, stuff started getting really crazy because after that, we started hearing bumps and we started hearing like things being thrown to eventually where we saw like almost like this grayish hand kind of sticking out from a crack in the ceiling. And that's when all hell broke loose. But it was one of the girls in the group who couldn't make it that was actually doing it. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, I it was funny too how I brought it up with them because I was like, oh, dude, remember that time? That was crazy, man. We went through some shit, and then like, my friend looked at me. He's like, "Oh yeah, that was totally my sister, bro. I'm sorry."
Yeah, dude, we totally messed with you, man. Sorry, my bad. We should have said something at some point, but.
I just like it all had me freaked.
Yeah.
Dude, and then like what's crazier is the fact that I thought that was a legitimate experience for like 10 more years after it happened.
See, I was just always really jealous because like I never had like some weird, unexplainable like phenomenon happen to me where I'm like, oh, that's gotta be ghosts. Because like full disclosure, I don't believe in ghosts at all, but I do think they're really fun to think about. But like the weirdest thing, well, there's a couple weird things like. Brian, he used to spend the night at my house, and Brian would consistently have like the same dream every night. And Brian, do you want to explain the dream?
Oh, dude, always. So the dream always started with me starting to Mikey's room, and I would kind of just hear like kind of like that, and kind of like it sounds like rattling of chains. I would be in his room, and I remember because I would always go to Mikey, try to wake him up in my dream. He wouldn't wake up. He would just just lay there, like all right, whatever. So I would come out of his bedroom door, stand at like at the top of the stairs, and I would hear it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay. And I would proceed going down to his stairs, into his like little front, and then go down the other hallway, still hearing that same like groaning and chain sound. And then I would turn into his kitchen, then go towards his basement, and I would always stop at the top of his stairs and just hear it's been a while, so I don't remember if there was a switch or not, but I remember just kind of going down the stairs, and in the back fucking corner there was this old, skinny, wrinkly, like looking like she was like dying there, just this old woman just chained in the corner of his room, just staring at me, trying to reach out for me, and it freaked the shit out of me every time. And
that was my Nana. Why were you so mean to Nana?
Because she was scary. Feed her.
She's fine. She likes it down there. It's damp and cold. She likes it.
Oh god! But I remember for like a while because like it legitly freaked me out to where like I think there's a few times where Mike's like, "Hey, you want to sleep over at my place?" Like, can we do it at my house?
But no, it's funny that you had that experience though, because like I've never had any like weird experience in my house, but every time I would have like friends over, something weird would happen. Like me and Rob, my friend Rob, would always joke about there being a ghost in my closet because weird, unexplainable things would happen to him whenever he would sleep over. Like at one point, because this is when we were kids, so we would always like play with toys and stuff like that. But we, finished playing late at night, put all the toys away back into the closet, which is usually where I put like my toy bins in, that or under my bed. And then like he would wake up in the morning and like those toys would be back out somehow. And at one point he had like a little toy of like Obi-Wan Kenobi like tangled in his underwear, like just like the weirdest fucking shit. And he's like, dude, you've got a ghost in your closet, and he keeps messing with me. And I was like, I don't know. If I do, he seems to be cool with me. So get on his good side, dude.
We seem to be gross.
There was another experience when I was over, Mikey. I didn't happen to see it myself, but you had seen it, and this was when you were super into Phantasy Star Online at the time for like the demo that it was for. But we were hanging out like in the first floor, and I remember you had told me like just from the corner of your eye, like from your staircase going up, you saw like what was like a white figure, or like a white, like a pale white woman, kind of like walking up your steps.
Yeah.
By the time you like turned your head to face it completely, it was like gone.
It was just one of those things like in my periphery that like, it's probably one of those things where there was like a weird like glare of like light that I just caught in the corner of my eye. But like for a second there, it really seemed like there was like a girl in like a white dress like going up my stairs, and I was just like, dude, you see that? And I was like, no, what? I was like, it was like a girl in a white dress that went up my stairs, I thought. And Actor just looks at me like, dude, don't do this. Don't do this, please.
I'm too young for this shit.
Chase her though.
Yeah, listen. If there is the ghost of a girl in my house, like I'm gonna leave her be, because it's so far we've been cool. She doesn't seem to like my friends for some reason, but hey,
maybe she's been reaching out to me.
Yeah.
It's going to hear her in your dreams one day. Get better friends.
Get better friends.
They're all shitty.
No, my friends are the best. The stupid ghost girl doesn't know anything. Now I pissed her off, and now I'm gonna start like noticing.
She's like, "Oh yeah, I don't know shit, huh?"
Oh, okay. Bet.
All we've been through.
Yeah, after all we've been through.
I've left you alone for a long time. I let you do your thing, whatever. And now we got beef.
No, but I do remember the other weird thing is, same friend Rob, there was one time where we borrowed this, it was like the spirituality book from another friend of ours that dealt with a bunch of weird stuff, like auras and guardian angels and all that stuff. It was nothing we really believed in, but it was fun to read about. But it would always have these really dumb exercises where it's like, if you look at yourself in the mirror and just stare without blinking for like a minute, you'll start to see your aura. And like what's really happening there is you're just tiring out your eyes, so you think you see a glow or something, but it's really nothing. But there was one thing where we were both like, I think we were doing some like meditation exercise. And while we were doing that, like I remember I just had like my eyes closed, and I pictured in my head like this old like hermit dude with just like a black cloak on. Dude must be like pushing 98 at least, and he's just this wretchedy old dude with like arthritis ridden hands and stuff, like really, and like the like glazed over like eyes as if he was like blind or something. And then I just remember being like snapping out of it. I was like, whoa, that was weird. And I look over at Rob, who's just staring me right in the eyes, and he's like, "Did you see the hermit too?"
What?
And I was like, what? Like we somehow, while we were doing this meditation exercise, we both pictured the same creepy old man, which I thought was the weirdest thing.
That's crazy.
The only way I can possibly explain it is that me and Rob have always been Led Zeppelin fans, and it's one of the covers of the album is like the old like hermit with like the lantern and stuff. So somehow I think that like seeped into our psyche while we were meditating. But like it was just the weirdest thing where somehow we just pictured the exact same old dude. Can't explain
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what's crazy? Every time Mike says he has some sort of like encounter or thinks he might have some sort of encounter, he always has a pretty reasonable explanation for it.
If you don't mind me asking, how old were you guys at the time as well?
We were probably early teenage years, maybe 13, 14.
So if like this is just my speculation on the matter.
Oh, I think we lost Brian.
Oh, now he's back. this is just my speculation on the issue and like trying to like kind of figure it out in my own head, because like since you guys were like so young and you two have just known each other for so long, like you were saying how in sync you two were, like I feel like it's just like a higher likelihood of picturing the same thing, because you two have had similar experiences, number one, and number two, for how early the age like it was more likely to be the same like thing that you would imagine,
For sure, yeah.
because of how early of an age you guys did that at.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, like most said, like I'm a skeptic at heart too, so I always try to think about like, well, why would that have happened? Like in my mind, there's always a reasonable explanation for that stuff, even if you can't think of it at the time. But I always think like that. I find ghosts and stuff like that fascinating, but I think more often than not, when you look at it, like especially the history of ghost stories, it's always like, yeah, some weird thing happened and people didn't know enough to be able to explain it, so they're like, oh, ghost.
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 Anything.
It's gotta be.
No.
Well, would you ever like ghost hunt, Mike, if like you ever had the chance? Like,
Oh,
let's say, like, would you? Okay.
Oh yeah, I would love to. That'd be
Bro.
so fun.
If
Dude.
I could be Zach Baggins, I totally would be Zach Baggins.
No.
Zach Baggins, I love you, Zach Baggins.
Oh my God.
Zach Baggins, come on the podcast.
Oh man, dude, because like a lot of his experiences, obviously it's a show, you know, you're entertaining to an extent, but like I'd have to think like after you go to so many places, like your brain has to be like imagining some stuff that you legitimately do feel that this was an like, you know, like an extraordinary experience that I just had, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
something like, even if like the whole group was there together, the whole other crew is outside like far away, and you hear like a bang and you all look at each other, and at the same time y'all are like, nope, that was not supposed to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, like
I remember there was this one scene of Ghost Adventures where I don't necessarily remember if it was Zach Baggins, but it was the funniest moment that has ever happened in Ghost Adventures history. There was like a room, and it was like one of the darker rooms, and one of the characters hears a noise, and so he goes into the room. There's no camera in that room for, I guess, theatrical reasons. But he goes in the room after he hears the noise, and like not even 3 seconds later, you just see him sprint right out of the room.
Dude, I love Zach Baggins so much, because that dude, I think he's like completely like drank the Kool-Aid. He strikes me as the kind of dude who was like, you know, let's start this ghost hunting show, whatever. We could probably make some money doing it. But like you said, I think he's like done it so long now that he completely believes everything. And to that point, someone was telling me that like he wears like glasses and stuff now, and his explanation is that like the ghost fucked with his vision or something. And it's like, no, dude, you're just nearsighted or whatever. At this point, Zach, you're in your 40s, or who knows how old you are. I mean, that happens. You need cheaters. It's not a ghost. That's normal. But I love him because he's the kind of dude who just like He'll do everything he can to like egg on a ghost. Like he'll go into a room and be like, "Yo, ghost, I'm here. Am I making you mad? Am I making you mad by touching this wall? Here's a lamp. I just drop kicked it. I drop kicked your lamp. Are you mad?" But then the second something happens, like a gust of wind, he's like, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Oh my God! It said it wants to kill me."
Dude, there was
the ghost shows himself.
Dude, there was one episode, I can't remember exactly what it was, but they were like recording like in this like kind of like big room, and you know how like people hear like knocks and shit like that, so you know they record this shit, and there was a moment where they heard like a little knock, kind of like that, right? And then they're all just like, "Did you hear that?" And then they cut to it, and they said, "So we're gonna play back the audio. At this moment, we heard a voice," and you hear the little. He's like, "Did you hear that? It said my name." I'm like, what?
It's like every time it's like you'll hear just a little, and it's like, "We're gonna play back the audio," and then it's like, "It sounds like it said that the bodies were put under the floorboards back in 1873 by the famous killer known as Bob the Burgermeister," and you're just sitting there like, it was like a knock. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Like, do you know what's happening?
What are you saying?
But there was.
I've always loved the uniform, how Brian explained it, how they all look together and they all say it at the same time, like, did you hear that? Like,
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that audio that we're putting in post?
Well, there was one episode where it was their last Halloween special in 2020, which it wasn't scary, but it was actually kind of interesting, where they went to the Tiger King's like place, and they were like trying to do investigation, see if they can like talk to like, you know, the man that died, and then the Tiger King's like husband and all that. Which, I mean, that shit was like, all right, whatever, you know. Ooh, the little machine made like a picture of like a skeleton of like, you know, a stick figure of the guy stood right next to that hat. Oh my god! But the thing that I found interesting was that they brought like those trained dogs that are like police trained to sniff out bodies, and they can only sniff out actual like scent of like humans and stuff like that. And they went to this one location where there was a lot of supposed like killing of like people, like trespassers, stuff like that, and all the dogs were going crazy in this one location, and it got so heavy to where actually the police had to get involved, and it got really heavy. And I'm sitting there like, oh my god, did they actually just discover like murders and shit like that? Like, fuck the ghost right quick. Oh my god, they found murders? Holy shit! Like, they are burying bodies back here. Like, go watch the special if you guys haven't. Just watch that little segment. It is fucking insane. Like, to me, like I like fuck the ghost stuff. It's just wow. That was actually interesting. Like, wow, we this is a whole new show now. This ain't Ghost Adventure. This is Murder Adventure.
Yeah, this is fucking like solving murders. No, wouldn't that be amazing though if like they started doing that more often, where they're like go into an area just like, oh, we're gonna try to find ghosts, and they end up like finding clues for like unsolved mysteries, where they're like, oh my god, we know who Jack the Ripper is.
Like, dude, that shit would be cool. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just imagine that. Like, obviously they recorded that shit like a while ago, and me and Laney were talking, and she's like, "Do you think they actually like found like actual bodies?" I'm like, "If they did, I don't think Travel Channel A would air that, and B, we would see that shit all over like the news." You know what I mean? So
yeah.
If the reason that this is being shown, it clearly states that they didn't find shit. You know,
Right.
But that was still cool as fuck to see that. But
well, that's like the closest thing to what could happen in like real life as well, you know.
yeah.
But I remember one Ghost Adventures episode. I forgot that they went to Italy. They went to this really haunted place in Italy, and I just think he offended, you know, Italian like just like heritage in general, because like they go to this like obviously haunted place in Italy, and you guys know about the doctor masks, right? The crow masks that doctors used to wear back in like
the plague doctors.
Exactly. Yep. And so this was like an abandoned hospital back in like, you know, when Rome was like nice, like big and strong, and plague doctors, you know, experimented on people quite a bit. And so Zach Baggins, being the smart cookie he is, when he wasn't getting any attention from the ghosts, he puts on the doctor mask and he's like, "Does this scare you? Does this rile you up?"
I remember that.
I was like, dude, I don't think you're offending the dead right now. You're also offending the living.
It's like, bro, come on, what are you doing? Like, I like to imagine there is a ghost there, and the ghost is like, man, that's in poor taste, I gotta say.
I'm going to this guy. Let's go.
Right.
Could you imagine Zach Baggins and the Ghost Adventurers going down to like some haunted place in the deep south, and he's just like putting on a KKK uniform, and it's just like, am I offending you? And it's like, Zach, no, we can't do Zach, you can't do that. He's got like a cross, and he starts with a lighter, and they're like, Zach, stop. You can't do that.
Bro, we will get canceled.
I'm just trying to get the ghost, guys. I'm just trying to get the ghost. It seems like you're not serious about this ghost thing.
It's like, bro, we are you? But no,
shit.
like that's the thing too, because like a part of me does kind of enjoy the show because it's just funny to watch Zach. Like it's just funny to watch him. But like, there's so many times. There was another moment where I watched like Zach, where like you know how the ghosts like touch you and they can feel it.
Yep.
There was one moment, I swear to God, he was just like, I got pushed. It felt like the ghost was trying to push my soul out and then back in. I need to sit down for a while. I'm so lightheaded. I'm so sick. I don't know if I can go back in there. And I'm like, bro, shut your ass up.
To push my soul out.
Push my soul
Kevin,
out.
that was the same experience you had that made you want to start the show, bro.
Right? Well, like, see, my favorite thing is this: is that, like, okay, like a lot of those, like, I love ghost shows, right? But there's my problem with that. A lot of stuff is that they're going there to look for ghosts, right? But when a ghost thing happens, they all book it the fuck out. It's like, no, keep your ass in there. You're there for the ghost. Why are you running from the ghost?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Everyone's gangster until the ghost really shows up. And he's like, what's good?
Right?
Oh,
It's like that's the point of you being there. Stay.
But,
I'm sorry.
but again, like that's what I mean, though. I feel like the vast majority of the people who work on those shows, they understand. They're like, none of us believe in ghosts. We're to do a show where, you know, so we're gonna play it up if anything happens, or if nothing happens, we'll make something happen. But
yeah,
that's why I feel like Zach Baggins is the one dude who just believes it. So you probably have the producers getting the rest of the crew there, and it's like, guys, just at some point, just freak out about something, and Zach's gonna believe it. Just like with what we were talking about before, where like all the homies playing a prank on one homie. Now it's just all of them playing it on Zach Baggins.
I'm waiting for Zach to be like, I once had a sexual encounter with a ghost. It's like, all right, Zach, what you got now?
wait, that's a thing though. People have said that.
No.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Pay Money Wubby did a video about someone who claims to be in like a sexual relationship with a ghost.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Please explain.
It's what?
Hold on.
Well, there's this woman. I don't remember the whole story, but it was this video. I think it was actually a news segment about this woman who believes that there was like a spirit in her apartment or house or whatever. And she said, like, yeah, you know, it was the weirdest thing. Like, I just felt this presence there. And then one night, like, while I was sleeping, I felt the presence next to me on my bed. And I felt the spirit just insert itself into me. And you're just sitting there like, okay, lady, what are you talking about?
What?
And then she just kept saying, like, and now we're in love, you know? And it's just like, okay, you're crazy. You're insane.
So you telling me the ghost had... Okay.
Yeah, apparently that ghost had a big old ghost dick, and it dicked her down. I don't know. That's her story, and she's sticking to it.
Well, would that be rape? I don't know.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna get into the legalities of this situation. I think the important thing is that this lady's crazy.
I think so too. Dude, there's a lot of like people like that out there. Like there's this one lady who married like some bridge in like I think like England or something. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, or it's like the train station or something like that. Oh god, it's so. I'm just listening to some of these people. I'm like, how the fuck do you love a bridge? And she's like kissing up on, and I'm like, lady, that is out in all like ends of the environment, bugs and everything crawling, and you just kissing it like that. What?
Yeah, they're in love, dude.
Oh my god. Hey, listen, man. Well, whatever you gotta do, I guess, man. Like, it's lonely out there. I get it.
It is lonely out there.
My god.
But what is that you discussed?
It's we're not sponsored by Xbox, but you know, it's Xbox controller.
There you go.
Please sponsor us. But yeah, we're in love now. In fact, I think
damn, dude. I'm happy for you, okay? I support you.
So, nothing.
Hey, listen, man.
Go over
if you
there.
love a shoe, I'll marry you. Don't worry.
Really hoping Octar is going to come in like, yo, don't even stress. I'm married to this money.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, you can't see, but Akhtar is just like sitting on a pile of money like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Just very casually, too.
It's just like bathing in cash.
He's just dabbing his sweat right now.
This whole GameStop situation. Otherwise, that would be very close to the truth.
Come on, put Benjamin down. Put him back with his millions of other friends next to you. Come on, dude.
We get it. You got money, okay? Us poor people are trying.
Yeah. Jesus.
I'm the hedge fund. Okay.
You are the hedge fund. It was you all along. Sorry that Reddit ruined your plans.
Get on Reddit right now.
Yeah,
Dude,
right.
speaking of hedge fund, oh my god, I can't believe that's right now. Like I've been now looking up articles and stuff like that, and the man is declaring this as a terrorist attack. Excuse me?
People are insane. For people who don't know, by now probably everybody knows. But recently, there's a subreddit called I think it's just Wall Street Bets is what the subreddit's called. And somebody on there noticed just from paying attention that GameStop stock was being shorted. So basically what that means, like when you're shorting a stock, it's when someone, if you were to this hedge fund gets together, they borrow stock from a brokerage company, right? And they then sell that stock at price, knowing that the stock is going to lower or hoping that it will. It's basically betting against a company, you know? You sell a bunch of stock, the price lowers, and then you buy it back, you give that stock back to the broker you borrowed it from, along with a little bit of interest, and then you keep the rest of the profits you get.
You basically keep the difference.
Right.
Wow.
And you know, this is a legal thing, and you know, people have done it plenty of times before in the past. But the interesting thing about nowadays is average people are just more informed about the stock market. You know, in part thanks to apps like Robinhood or Acorns or whatever. There's a bunch of those apps now. But someone on Reddit was paying attention, and of course Reddit, they're gamers, so a lot of these people probably already owned GameStop stock. And it was just yo, someone's trying to short the stock here. We should just buy in and just drive that price up so that they'll have to sell it at an absurdly high price and lose a lot of money. And that's exactly what happened, and it's amazing.
Yeah. And the other thing is that hedge funds, they always trade with other hedge funds as well to actually manipulate and either decrease or increase the price of the stock as how they see fit. So in this game, depending on how they if they go on if they do a call or a put, basically they can control how much they actually want to be able to get back and how much time they actually want to be able to make that profit. The thing is that Wall Street Bets, like you said, Mikey, but kind of basically did the same thing. It's all public knowledge. Yeah. The only difference is that Wall Street Bets was transparent about it, whereas hedge funds be doing that kind of stuff behind closed doors. They don't want to show people that they actually do that kind of stuff.
For sure. Well, and that's the thing that's you know, people are upset about oh, you're manipulating the market, but it's really not. It's people buying stock as it should be, and it's not anybody had insider information. They're just again monitoring the stock of GameStop, all public knowledge, seeing what's going on, and being oh shit, I see what's happening.
Yeah, well, wasn't it? A lot of it was just a bunch of streamers that are just saying, "Fuck it, we're all just gonna put in on this one stock," right? If I remember.
Streamers necessarily, it's business. They're business savvy. They're not idiots, man. They're real business. This was 2 million, now almost 6 million people who aren't necessarily, a lot of them are admitting I don't have much experience in the stock market, but a good amount of them who were kind of explaining the move, they are very savvy, and if you have people who are able to round up behind them, that you're going to get a difference. And it's amazing because a lot of these hedge funds, they have more money than any of us normal people have ever seen in our entire lives. And yet, when you had enough volume of people, it still made a big enough difference to make the place go bankrupt. So even if you have little money, if you have large volume of people, you can still make a huge difference. It kind of shows the power of unity at that point.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, it's funny because I was seeing online right now, apparently there was this man in I think it was Kentucky or something like that, where they're suing Robinhood. For people who don't know, Robinhood is a stock app where you can buy stocks on and stuff like that. And apparently, a lot of people are apparently suing that man. Apparently, Robinhood has a lot of lawsuits right now against them because they've like stopped the GameStop, AMC, and BlackBerry like stocks right now where you can't buy in. And I guess a lot of people are pissed, and well, for good reasons.
Yeah.
And
it's a free market. We can't trade how we see fit anymore. What?
Exactly.
Right.
That's directly manipulating the market because you're making it so people can't buy anymore. And the fucked up thing is too that for a while they just made it so you like couldn't even see some of these stocks like GameStop on Robinhood. But even when you could and couldn't buy, you could still sell. So because of that, people would start selling, like then lowering the price of the stock. So it's just like you are directly manipulating the market.
Now they are back. You can purchase your stock, but it's only limited as far as what I was able to see.
Yeah.
One stock.
Oh, is it really only one?
I bought one today, and that was all I could buy was one stock.
Really?
No.
I didn't even know that. I'm actually checking right now. I didn't even know that. Really?
And by the way, the fact of the matter also remains that these hedge funds are angry at these at Wall Street bets for this quote unquote, I will say, manipulation of the market. But hedge funds, they do it all the time. They always manipulate the market and how they see fit. They always do that. That's how they make their money.
Of course.
One of the main reasons I feel like Wall Street is mad at Wall Street bets is because they can't handle the fact that they just got outsmarted by quote unquote dumb money.
No, of course they got beaten at their own game, so they're upset about that.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's so crazy to me.
It's amazing. It's amazing how quick the cheater is ready to call out other people cheating.
Oh, of course, of course. But the funniest thing about it too is like despite the millions or even billions lost, like so many of these people who are part of these hedge funds, like these ultra wealthy people, like despite the losses, their quality of life doesn't change. Yeah, maybe they can't buy another yacht this year. Oh, boo-hoo. But it's like, there's one, and I don't know the guy's name, but there was one billionaire who was on the news, and he was like making this like big hissy fit over it, just being like, oh, it's all these people using their government-given checks to do this, do that, or whatever. And it's like, dude, shut the hell up, okay? Like, this does not impact your quality of life whatsoever. Friggin' ever. Like, I don't want to hear it from you.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that some of us, have to use the money that we get from the government where we just don't have a pile of money right behind us. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
But these are the same people. They have no idea what it's like living paycheck to paycheck. They have no idea what it's like to be afraid. Like, oh, can I afford rent next month? Can I do this? Can I do that?
Yeah.
It's like it's not even in their fucking wheelhouse. So they just they like I hate to generalize like this, but I feel like so many of those ultra wealthy people, like they don't even see other people as people. They're all just like a different lower form of life.
Yeah.
Well, what's incredible is that a lot of the people who were able to take advantage, the normal people, the normal citizens, were able to take advantage of this entire GameStop situation and sell and, collect a lot of the profits. You know what they're doing with that money? They're paying for their, parents' medical bills. They're paying off their college loans. They're paying off their mortgage. They're stabilizing their life, actually.
Yeah.
Whereas, like you said, Mikey, this is money that these billionaires are losing that they don't even fucking need.
Right.
Yeah, literally. Like I don't know, man. If I ever got wealthy, man, I would try to trickle it down and help people. Like
trickle down economics doesn't work, Brian.
Yeah, trickle down sucks, bro.
But I know what you mean. You would try to give back, and I fully agree with that sentiment because it's one of those things where you just got to realize. And we were talking about this on WhatsApp, but that's like the end game of capitalism, right? For capitalism to work, there needs to be winners and there needs to be losers. That's just how it goes.
It's but I think the winners that have been winning for decades on end now are.
But you have to, at a certain point, you have to look at like the morality and ethics behind it all, and ask yourself, like, do we really need to be living this way? And the answer is no, not at all. But it doesn't matter because you have the people at the top, the ultra wealthy, who are like, well, we've had it too good for too long, and we're not going to give this up. And these are the same people that have like politicians on the payroll and all these other things. So like they're turning the gears. For as rough as the past, however many years you want to say was, the thing is, it's not a left versus right deal. It's the ultra rich versus everybody else.
Yeah.
That's what it's
which
always
is
been.
what's it? I don't know. It's so
Here's the other
shitty.
thing.
Like,
Here's the other thing too. With having so much money, like you were saying, you have so much power. So I don't think they're necessarily addicted to the money anymore. They're addicted to the power.
Oh, it's all
they
about
have
the
now.
power. Yeah, the money just affords them the power that they crave.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you lose $3.2 billion, you have lost $3.2 billion power.
yeah. Well, see, it's very funny because I remember like the day before all this happened, like Mo, you were telling all of us like, "Yo, guys, I'm just gonna let you know I've been hearing this stuff about like AMC, BlackBerry, and GameStop," and I'm not gonna lie, I was always like, "Mo, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about." But now I wish I actually listened to you.
This man's on top
you
of
were
it.
on
That's
something.
so crazy, huh?
No, to Mo's credit, he's been very good at keeping on top of all this stuff.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, I should have listened, dude. I should have listened.
Even with me, I was like, isn't there like some kind of regulation for this at all? I mean, like this sounds like it is stock manipulation. And then I went on SEC.gov and I looked up what is legitimately considered manipulation of the market. And I'm like, this is free trade. Holy shit!
Yeah.
And then
this is
by
it.
then it was too late for me to even get
No.
it. So
Well, I was upset because it wasn't GameStop, but when Mo mentioned that stuff, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll buy some AMC stock or whatever. But that was like by that time, that was when Robinhood was stopping people from buying stock in those companies. So like I even screenshotted it just in case there ends up being some class action lawsuit or whatever. But like my orders, it specifically said that they just denied my orders for those stocks.
Yeah, because I did the Express that Mo was saying to do was, hey, buy into the Express. They're doing okay right now. I mean, they're a little up, but yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what to like get into right now because again, not even just Robinhood, but apparently other apps like like Webull, like they're all limiting how much you can buy now. So it's not just one place; like they're doing it across the board.
But I mean, you can't do that. Like that is manipulation. I'm actually amazed that these apps are getting away with it. Like, dude, even it's so bad now where the government itself now had to get involved with GameStop and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide you $10,000 and say, maybe shut up.
Yeah.
The thing is Mo, correct me if I'm wrong, but Citadel is like Robinhood is part of Citadel.
Yeah.
And when this was all going down, Citadel had already bailed out Melvin Capital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so Citadel looks at Robinhood and is like, hey, listen,
cut the shit
we're
out.
the motherfuckers that really run the show around here. If you don't stop the trade, we will make sure you will never sell another stock as long as we are around. And we will be around forever. Like
at first they like made them they stopped everything totally. Like you couldn't even look it up like you were saying. And then they were like, okay, well this actually is kind of illegal. So, we're just going to go ahead and give y'all limited stocks. And by limited, we mean you can buy one per account. Like, all right.
But by the way, another reason why this huge surge for these stocks is also going up, in my opinion, is listen, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different hedge fund companies out there. Not all of these hedge fund companies are for Melvin Capital. Some of these hedge fund companies are, betting the antithesis with Melvin Capital, basically. So they're also profitizing off of Melvin Capital's hurt. And so not every hedge fund is rooting for Melvin Capital. Some of these hedge funds are like, awesome, we are now also going to take advantage of this as well because we will also find a profit. So a lot of the huge volume of purchasing, especially after we got cut off, the normal people of the U.S. got cut off from not being able to buy anymore. I don't know if you guys had noticed, but I think when the stock hit 202, GameStop stock, when it hit 202, for some reason it started going back up. And obviously it couldn't have been the U.S. citizens that were purchasing this stock because we were cut off. But a lot of it was my theory is that it was other hedge funds that were for whatever Wall Street Bets was doing, number one, and they were purchasing stock, as well as international. So people around the world, this became a global thing. Within a week, this became a global thing. So the stock started to rise up, along with potentially other hedge funds purchasing this, as well as the whole entire world. So this was something that couldn't have been stopped. they stopped us. All they really did was kind of soften the blow a little bit, but the damage is still being done.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, I wonder what. But like, I'm sure it's just random, but I want to know like what made them choose GameStop. You know, like why was GameStop their
Well,
target?
because it was a heavily shorted company.
Yeah, they
So-
noticed it was being shorted, so that's they
Yeah.
did this to actively fuck over the hedge fund that was shorting GameStop.
Yeah. And,
Oh.
and Wall Street Bets was
Yeah.
specifically targeting these
Yeah,
extremely heavily shorted companies, and knowing how heavily shorted a company is,
Right.
it's public knowledge.
And to be clear, like that's kind of why like GameStop, as we know, is not doing super well, you know, as a company. Same thing with AMC because of the pandemic, and like Nokia was another one they were talking about. Like these are companies that aren't doing super well, right? And that, you know, you might look at the stock and, you know, despite it being low, you might say, well, this company, you know, is overvalued, and I can easily see it losing value as time goes on. So that's why you would choose a company that's probably going to fail to short it. You're again betting against the company, as opposed to normal stock trading where you're like, well, you buy stock hoping the company does well and that the price of the stock goes up. So
Okay.
it's specifically because GameStop hasn't been doing well that it was targeted to short.
I'm hoping my man Reggie down there can help pull GameStop out. I'm hoping. I'm
I
hoping.
gotta tell you, I don't know what kind of sweet deal they offered him, but like it's got to be something for GameStop to say like, hey, come step down from your position as president of Nintendo of America.
And come work for GameStop.
For GameStop, it's like that, you know, whatever, Reggie,
Yeah,
follow your heart, but that seems like a bad career move.
Yeah,
I
because
feel like
let me look up what Reggie's position is on GameStop.
but by the way, if GameStop is smart, they might do a second offering with how high their stock price is at this point, because it has never been this high ever.
No, it's even when GameStop was doing great, the stock price was never as high as it got. Because what did it peak at, like 400 something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
nuts.
at least like 430.
Yeah, because right now I think they're at 3 something when I just checked. Yeah, so it looks like Reggie joined GameStop. He's part of the board of directors, apparently. He took that job. His appointment was become effective in April 20th of. Yeah, April 20th. They don't have a year though. But yeah, board of directors. Oh, that's good. But I mean, coming from the president to board of directors, I mean, if I'm right, I think the president is actually higher than. Oh no, board of directors would be higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, board of directors is higher.
No, it's probably a higher position for sure, but it's just like, I don't know, man. GameStop seems like the bad company to bet on with this. Like Nintendo, I feel like Nintendo's gonna be around for a while, maybe. But hey,
True.
whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe this is just Reggie trying to try new things, and I mean, worst case, I'm sure if Reggie ever decided to leave GameStop, I'm pretty sure Nintendo would take that man with open arms.
And honestly, it's admirable too. I kind of wish more people would do that, because, like, realistically, Reggie probably could have been president of Nintendo of America for however long he wanted, right? Because the dude's not that old. What? He's probably in his 50s or something.
Oh yeah, Reggie is. Yeah, because his start was the GameCube, right? Because people call him the Reginator, right? If I remember, that was during the
something
GameCube.
like that. Yeah, but like he probably could have continued doing it for a long time. But at least this way, someone else got to move up into that position. That's a big issue nowadays, is finding companies where you can actually move up. You know, because so many people just get into those top positions and then never leave or go anywhere. So.
Yeah,
They stay there until-
Reggie is 59 years old right now.
Yeah.
They stay. Some of these people stay there past 65 somehow. I don't know how,
Oh, yeah.
because you have to retire at 65. Some of these people stay there until they're like in their
Oh,
mid-
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, because Shigeru Miyamoto. Oh god, how old is that man? That man is pushing it, and I love him to death.
He's got to be in his 60s, late 60s maybe.
How do you spell his name?
Type in
I
Miyamoto,
love this man.
Miyamoto.
Shigeru Miyamoto. Wow, go work Google. Pull that shit right up.
Damn,
He is
Google.
He's 68.
68.
But here's the thing: I think Japan's retirement policy might be a little different.
I'm sure
It's a lot higher. Yeah, well, because I think is a lot like Japan. Like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, but whatchamacallit, Shigeru Miyamoto. Not sorry, I'm jumping off. Sorry, Japan's like thing is that you kind of almost work until you die, kind of thing. Like your job is your most important thing when it comes to like Japan.
I mean, I'll tell you what.
If I remember,
work culture in general is pretty fucked. It's especially fucked in Japan.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, man, Shigeru Miyamoto, man, he's him and Iwata both, man. Like those are my two guys in Nintendo. Like those are my guys, man. Keep Nintendo alive. Rest in peace, Iwata.
What I will say about Nintendo, I love everything they make and what they've created and the policy that they kind of run their company along. I don't know if you guys have heard, but a lot of the ROMs that they had of their older school games, they actually went around and hunted and like took a lot of those out. I didn't know that.
For what? Oh, like the ROM that people were like putting on websites. Yeah. Nintendo really cracked down hard on that.
Which sucks because these are a lot of games. Like for example, like the old school Fire Emblem on Game Boy Advance. These are games you can't fucking get. You can't get that game. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So the best way to play it is through a ROM on your laptop if you want to actually play it. And if you're taking that away from like you've already made your money out of it, you know?
Yeah, well one of them was Fire Emblems, the one on the GameCube. What's the title of that one? The Radiance one. Like that one alone is what? I think that one almost goes for $200-$300, that one, right?
Yeah.
Like that, but that's the thing. Like a lot of the ones, like the ROMs that people were trying to take, were the hard to find ones. Like I know the Metroids were a big one because I mean, come on, man, back in the day. Now it's easier now, but back in the day, trying to find Metroid 1 and 2 was fucking hard as shit. The Fire Emblem, good fucking luck.
That's what I'm saying. And
Eternal Darkness,
taking all of those away from people. So now you're basically stripping them of entertainment that you've already profitized from, you know?
Yeah. But a lot of that is, I mean, at the end of the day, Nintendo's a company. I mean, they're not going to want their IPs just easy access. They want to make the money too, because that was also around the time period where Nintendo, I think it was back with the Wii and the Wii U, when they were trying to do a lot of that virtual, like Nintendo stuff, where they were trying to port them all on there and try to make people buy it there and all that. And if I remember, that was around that time period.
But once again, these are games that they have no intention of recreating or reporting. Like, for example, Fire Emblem on GBA. They have no intention of doing that. There wasn't any. There's been no talk of it. There's been forums. There's been petitions to try and remake it, but nothing.
Yeah,
they're not giving any attention to it. So why are you taking that away now? You know?
Yeah, like it was kind of like when Square Enix was cracking down on what was it? I think Final Fantasy 8 and 7, because that was getting a lot of like ripped, like, you know, a lot of ROMs of that one. And that's when Square Enix was like, all right, clearly people want to fucking play this shit. Let's port this shit on the PS4, Switch, anywhere we fucking can. Because people are just, you know, trying to get themselves, and we want to make money, so fuck it, let's just spend the port. I feel like Nintendo should do that for a lot of their titles. Like, I'm praying to God they make like even like a little GameCube classic, or they actually start doing like how they did with the Super Nintendo and the NES, like how it's on the Switch. If they can make like that little thing for GameCube, that would be great. Because it's like you have so many good titles and you're not utilizing some of those titles. Like yes, I'm cool for all these new games, but a lot you can capitalize on nostalgia. Like we are kind of that generation where we're heavy on nostalgia. Make your money on that right now. Here you go. People are begging you to make, you know, bring Skyward Sword back and, you know, Ocarina Majora's. Like you did it with the Mario. It was cool. You guys brought back the 3 Marios, but why not play with the other nostalgia? There's another thing right there.
But that's the thing, though, right? I think they're looking for ways to make more money with it. Like, look at the Mario re-release. They're like, hey, yeah, we could have like a GameCube and Wii thing on the Switch that people can play, or we could just say, hey, for a limited time only, get, you know, Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, pay $60 for these old games.
Yeah,
we done nothing to them other than, you know, resolution upscaling or whatever. So it's probably the same thing where they're not going to put out, you know, anything like that for the GameCube, because they're probably looking at those games, especially older 3D games, where they can either do an HD update or just completely remake it. You know, I think it's one of those things where they're just going to look to make money as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, I'm holding out that when whenever we hear more news about Metroid 4, I really want them to all support Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. I know that shit won't happen, but I would love to have like basically the whole fucking story from 1 to 4 all on my Switch.
It'd be nice. Unfortunately, I don't think Metroid is as popular.
Crazy question.
What's up?
I have a bunch of my ROMs on a USB drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have the save files as well. But I just don't have the emulator, which I don't think Nintendo took off the emulator. So if I were to re-download the emulator and drag the ROM files back onto my laptop, I would still be able to like play them if I just open them up with the emulator, correct?
Yeah, I mean, as long as all the files are still there and you don't like move any of them, yeah, that shit should work from anywhere. Because it's kind of like when people share, what was it, fucking Project M of Smash, people were legitly giving their save files because they added their own mods or other characters into it. So it's the same theory. Yes, should be possible.
Yeah.
Like, and plus, if you need Dolphin, my dude, I have that shit. I
have Dolphin, but the laptop that I play ROMs as well, that I emulate off of, basically, it can't run Dolphin for its life.
See, it's so stupid, dude. The only reason why I have fucking Dolphin, like now I don't even fucking need it anymore, but it was so I could go back and play the original Animal Crossing. That's literally the only reason why I fucking got Dolphin. And now I have a copy of the original again.
The reason why I got the Dolphin was for Path of Radiance, and like my computer can't even run Path of Radiance because it freezes every frame.
Oh, really?
So it's just lag central the entire way.
Oh, you're getting that 2 frames per second, huh?
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, no, fuck. I don't know. Like, I want more of the classic Nintendo stuff, like for my Switch. I'm a fucking Switch dude. I love my Switch to death. Like, fuck. I need more GameCube games. Can never get enough of them.
I feel you.
But, with that, I mean, I think this is probably a good stopping point for our first podcast. What you guys think?
Hell yeah! I think we killed it.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you, everyone. Oh, actually, don't leave yet, guys. Don't leave yet. We aren't done with this little podcast, so we're actually going to go and take a break. This is the first episode of Fyre Bar Off Topic Podcast. Stay with us. We'll be right back in like 2-3 minutes for the post show. So we'll see you guys here in a little bit.
Yeah, for those confused by that, we do record these live over Twitch, so...
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/Lotus Fyre Studio. Come pop on by and watch us do these live.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh, yeah. All right, we'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.